to run.
The Minister of State for Finance in charge of General Duties, Henry Musasizi, together with officials from Ministry of Information, Communication, Technology and National Guidance, led by Line Minister Dr. Chris Baryomonsi, Friday appeared before the Parliamentary Committee on National Economy to give an account on a proposed loan request estimating to $200 million to fund efforts of digital transformation in Uganda.
And Mr. Chairman, there is no other document beyond what we have submitted that we think is useful for us to enable you process this loan.
For quite some time, international players, through lending the government of Uganda, have been behind the support for the Uganda Digital Acceleration Project government network. But accordingly, government seeks to borrow special drawing rights, SDR, equivalent to $140 million and also secure grant financing equivalent to $40 million from International Development Association of the World Bank to push the agenda of fully digitalizing the Pearl of Africa. Refugee hosting communities have not been left behind in the new plans to strengthen digital inclusion in Uganda.
And this has been costed at $57 million. Component 4, project management, has been costed at $7 million, of which $4 million is IDA support and $3 million is from the window for refugee host communities.
And we are now getting the loan for the 5th phase of the project. We have implemented the first, 4th, and out of that we have only covered about 1,300 entities. So we would want to know, in this loan, how many entities are we going to cover to connect them out of the 17,000 that are remaining?
The loan request comes at a time when Uganda battles a whopping 80 trillion debt and inflation levels standing at 10%. MPs question the priority of the loan request in accordance to the status of the economy, which until recently operates under a deficient budget.
The productive sectors of the economy need to be financed in order to generate wealth, which will eventually build the economy further and henceforth boost aggregate demand. All this.
Minister for ICT and National Guidance Dr. Chris Baryomonsi told the MPs that Cabinet has finalized with the rationalization agenda and now the process awaits Parliament's position. Dr. Baryomonsi reveals that NITA-U, which is the implementing agency of the GOVNET program, will be operating under the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance according to Cabinet resolution. This, however, also irked the members of Parliament on how the funds will be utilized.
Number 2, does World Bank know? Yes, I have had a meeting with the country manager of World Bank and also World Bank mission to notify them of this process within the government. So they are aware and they have advised and we have agreed on how the process will be managed should the decision be taken finally that NITA-U is getting back into the ministry. So those arrangements are there. The loan will not be suspended. There are mitigation measures and it will be seamlessly handled. We have had that discussion.
We saw this happen with REA. As long as there was $400 million to be borrowed for rural electrification, REA was taken over by Ministry of Energy, and in the countryside we are stuck with poles without nothing's being done. Now, the same thing.
Daniel Mugoya, Gloria Gwitabinji, UBC News.